witches this time. Went with roots last time. Super witch is a little bit different here, Woody.
Diego last scored a victory fighting in the Psycho Champions League Season 2. That win followed up soon after a 5th place showing in the July qualifier last year. So trying to make a stab back at glory and get a golden ticket. He's brought in the Super Witches along with this Grand Warden walk and dropping a fireball over in that right side compartment. A little bit of an unusual aim, I guess. Winded up taking down that spell tower. But the Super Witches are down with only 30 seconds in, and I think he's got a pretty good shape up for this clockwise push around the base. What's he going to do on the top side? Oh, Flame Flinger. Great choice.
Yeah, he's got the Flame Flinger. I was a little bit worried that those two big boys were going to go in there and hit on the wall, but they're coming back around. If they get stuck on that wall, they're never going to get taken out, so they'll never respawn. That could have been a lot of tanking loss, but they do bounce right back out. And we got the Queen coming down here to the bottom to help fight off some of these heroes along with a couple of headhunters. And he's got a pretty strong push towards the middle of the space along with 2 super wall breakers as well to open things up for these Super Witches. There goes the first wall breaker, and second one might have actually been 3 super wall breakers. There was just 2 remaining when I said something, and he's looking strong here through the middle. But look at that last compartment. There is the monolith up there, and then on the left side he also has an Expo and the scatter shot, which the Royal Champion are going to go in for now.
I love that the splash damage from that Flame Flinger is able to get onto both of those heroes. The Archer Queen and this Barbarian King are now about to take quite a bit of damage from those Fire Spirits jumping around. And it seems like at every little point, he has found a way to get maximum value from the most important interactions that he needs to work well in this raid. The Super Witches are stuck a bit in the core, but they're still looking fairly healthy. Unfortunately for one, though, does start to take some fire from that Monolith. Is he going to notice and drop a freeze to get the distract? No, and a Super Witch is eliminated from the battlefield, Bash.
Yeah, but he's still got a lot of force here. Queen's on the outside. She still does have ability, and he still has those 2 free spells. Not to mention that Flame Flinger is still going up top. Here goes the Queen popping off the giant. He's got to get through the monolith. He's got to find a way to get to that Expo. The King is going to stall things up for just a little bit, but remember, he will have Clan Castle troops still. 43 seconds is plenty of time. This is looking pretty good for Diego. I don't think there's going to be too much to stall him up aside from this monolith. But the Queen's got enough firepower. I think this should look good for Diego.
Yeah, I think he should have it crushed. We see the troops popping out of the Flame Flinger, and they are all in the skies. No trouble at all to get through those walls, and the super minions should be able to pound this multi-target Inferno into the ground. 15 seconds remain for that last single building, and here we go for the final kill. Giant is blocking out in front as best he can. Super minions launch those rockets. 5 seconds left, getting a little bit close, but Diego is ready to celebrate. There it is! 3 stars are claimed.
Attack, and it looks like he's going to do the same here. He went with that Warden Walk into Roots. We're seeing a lot of players playing the Spirit Charge. However, Kingsman likes to do this Warden Fireball into the Root Riders, which I love it. He had such good value with it last time. He's got 6 invisibilities, so he may go for a deep fireball, maybe targeting the monolith, maybe targeting that battle builder hut right there to try to get out the clan castle, get out the scatter shot, get out that fire spitter and the mono. Like, he can get some really great value here. Remember that Angry Jelly is going to allow the warden to target only the defenses for the first 35 seconds. So you kind of actually want to wait for that Angry Jelly to wear off, which it does pop off right now. So now he can set up this fireball and get the invises, get the earthquakes in, and launch that baby into the middle of the base. Here it goes, right in for that battle builder. Oh, wait. Oh, he almost missed. Oh, he did miss.
No!
Uh-oh.
Oh, no, Bash. He tries to salvage with an earthquake spell over on the left side, but he doesn't finish off the multi-target Inferno, and this whole plan has just gone kaput. Kingsman is now going to do his best with what has left, but there are still a ton of terrifying structures on the inside of the space, and I don't know how he's going to get the pathing to work here.
The pathing's not the main issue. It's just he doesn't have anything to deal with the clan castle, and when you're looking for all, he wasted the not wasted, but he used the overgrowth on all of those buildings he was expecting to be gone. Those buildings aren't supposed to be there. The clan castle's not as big of a deal as fire spirits, or a furnace rather, with a couple ice gold. But man, leaving all that damage on the board after that huge investment is such a pain. He still does have some earthquakes, so he can use those to kind of just weaken up some of those buildings. But now we see that overgrowth wear off, and now he has to deal with everything here, Woody.
He could have finished off that multi-archer tower if he had dropped one over on the left side, but I think that he was focused instead on the core interior of the base. I wonder if he doesn't have any comms on, if there's anyone else in the room that's shouting out to him and giving him advice at what to do. One of the key advantages of being in the same room as your teammates is that you can talk to them during the attack, but some people don't want to be distracted and they just want to be able to focus entirely on what they're working on while they're doing it. With less than a minute left, 3 stars is pretty much out of the question. It's just a matter of how much percentage he can pull off.
It's the unfortunate side effect of going for that big fireball. Sometimes it can go sideways and then you're left just trying to salvage the attack, and that's what he's doing here, just trying to salvage as much percentage as he can. I think he kind of knows that this rarely is going to be a 3-star with that big miss, so just want to run it up as much as possible. And with them already having a 3-star against them on defense, it's going to be a tough spot to be in. But we saw that Vatic eSports, they can put up 3 stars, so I don't think they're worried about this. They just want to salvage as much percent and keep themselves in the ballgame just in case they're not able to get so many 3 stars. But a 76%, see what he's got for us. He's got Root Riders right here. In the last war, he used the Root Riders and he put up an 89%. So going to look to improve from there. But if he did end up with an 89%, in this situation, it wouldn't be the end of the world.
Yeah, he is an extraordinarily accomplished player. Rigo Torres with $78,000 in total estimated winnings across all of the events that he's competed in, including 3, maybe even 4 appearances at World Championship matches going back to 2019. Fighting for Team Elektros now with a massive strike in the bottom corner, popping that King ability early on, sending in Electro boots and that spiky ball to bounce around. He's going to stab at that Town Hall early on and not even have to use anything except for these 2 heroes on the outer edge of the base to get it done. An unusual entry point, but we'll see if it's justified later on, as the Siege Barracks now deployed on the right side is going to set up for additional work to be done by these Root Riders, Bash.
If he can get the Queen to go inside and get these fire spitters out, that would be really nice. If she can get this multi-arch tower, he's going to set up some really nice pathing here for the Roots. So I like this entry quite a bit. Yeah, now the Queen's going to go ahead and work on those fire spitters. And then she might even be able to join up the Roots if one of those Roots kind of comes over and opens up the walls. I don't think that's really going to happen, but she does a great job just taking some of those defenses down. Here comes the Warden's ability to protect all those troops. We got another Furnace along with a couple Ice Golems. That seems to be the meta CC right now. We're seeing that time and time again. Those Furnaces are just a pain, and then the Ice Golems freeze everything up. Great opener here from Rigo, but still half the base remains with 1 minute and 20 seconds of going.
Yeah, a lot still left here, and still firing with long-range damage. Those multi-archer towers, ground-based Expos, are getting a lot of work done against the Valks and the Root Riders out in front, trying to keep as much as possible of that damage still effective against this base. He's going to rage up the Queen and those healers on the bottom side, even give her an invisibility spell to try to get her deeper into the base. She's already popped her ability, but can still dish out a lot of damage, especially if you're able to get her topped back off again thanks to those healers. I like this approach, and he's got a 2-pronged strike to try to finish off the rest of this base. Royal Champion's getting awfully low, but can still pop her ability for a lot of value. It's just that there's still 2 multi-infernos on the inside core that are going to be dishing out lots of damage against these poor troops. And there's still quite a bit left, Bash.
Keep an eye on that Expo. He goes to the Royal Champion ability. There, here comes the Hog Puppet. The main thing is that can the Royal Champion get this Expo down as soon as possible? Oh, Tornado Trap, Giant Bomb, the Scatter Shot. Oh, Scatter Shot tag teams in there with the Giant Bomb, and the Royal Champion falls down. I think he's going to be just short here with that multi that you called out there, Woody. The Scatter Shot MVP taking down the RC and possibly saving the 3-star here for Nachoa.
Really super unfortunate result for those Hog Riders.
It's a lot easier to say that now, but it's one of those things that we've been kind of debating all day throughout here. Simon's going to come in next, and he's going to go ahead and start with the Spirit Charge, using some Rocket Loons actually to direct this Royal Champion in. So this is probably going to be a really unpredicted entry here on Loop's base. Usually you can try to predict or have an idea of where your opponent's going to go in, but with Simon using a couple rocket balloons and taking out some of those defenses, I don't think they would be expecting this kind of entry. And it's looking really, really good with that haste vial pop, or the haste gem pop, rather. This Royal Champion is just tearing this base apart right now.
Ooh, a little bit unfortunate with that Invis spell. Didn't get the Royal Champion to go inside there. Maybe he was just forcing to retarget onto the Monolith. Either way, Simon's doing an excellent job at getting the timing of those invisibilities dropped just perfectly. and gets maximum value from the Royal Champion, keeping her alive and safe with the recall spell as well. And yeah, as you noted there, Bash, great job forcing the retarget onto the Monolith, another key defense that he's able to take out. He's dropped a poison spell right into the core and is able to nab that furnace. More good news for him, but he's not going to celebrate just yet. He's got 1 minute into this fight, and with the Archer Queen getting a good bit of work done on the outer edge, he's ready to set up for the main force of this army, blocking out in front with that Golem to try to prevent the Archer Queen from taking shots. Oh, she's so low.
Yeah, she took a lot of damage there just fighting off the Clan Castle troops. But she has to pop out her ability, which is going to give her some healers. She's got the giant in there, and the nice redirection there to get that Monolith is huge. We've seen Monoliths just tear these giants apart, tear those roots apart. Remember, the Monolith deals extra damage based on the troops' hit points. The higher hit point units, they take a lot more damage, and when you're using roots, those are a higher hit point unit. So getting that Monolith out early is a really nice play. Here comes that Warden's ability, gonna heal and protect. This is a nice entry for Simon, but the back end of this base looks fierce. If he can protect these troops, though, he's got a really good chance to triple this one.
I am liking this a lot. The Eternal Tome was super well timed, and so many troops in the core of the base are just gutting what remains. Heroes on the outside edge are just perfectly matched for what still remains over there, and after that Royal Champion ability is popped, it still is doing a lot of damage, tossing spears off along the outer edge of the base. We still have the Giant doing some fantastic tanking work on the interior, and Simon looks very much ready for a 3-star finish here, passing the 81% mark with only 40 seconds left. The last key defenses are going to take a massive spiky ball to the face, and he pumps his fists, clapping his hands. That is looking like a 3-star, Bash.
Oh, I love Simon when he gets pumped up. He's one of the most intense players we have, and he gets a 3-star and puts his team right back in this matchup. They are still down on percentage.
That anchor position right in the middle of the war to try to keep this pressure on and maintain a lead against Vatic.
And he used Root Riders last time, got the 3 stars you mentioned, Woody. Root Riders again with the Spirit Charge. This attack is so good in the hard mode. It feels like as these players get more and more comfortable to the buffs and the nerfs of the hard mode, this attack just emerges to be one of the best, and we've seen it time and time again. I'd say that there aren't other attacks, but this is definitely probably the heaviest favorite in the meta right now. He's gonna go ahead and go really deep in the space. Triggering that tornado is actually really massive. He's got a great pathing set up here. Now he can go in through that town hall and behind those fire spitters, which is gonna be really nice for Loop. Maybe a little bit predicted for Imran here, maybe baiting this entry. Oh wait, oh what? Overgrowth on the town hall. That's a choice. That's a choice there, Woody.
Yeah, it has resulted in a few very terrifying missteps that result in 1-star finishes at the end of a raid. He's got another overgrowth, so I'm wondering if he's just planning on doubling back and finishing off the town hall at the very end. We saw that a lot before when the Gigabomb was inside the town hall. It looks like he just wanted to shut the DPS off instead and is going to take the town hall down after all as he moves his way down toward the bottom of the base. He gets the CC pull, and it's going to be 2 Ice Golems coming out to slow things down. There's going to be a lot of slowdown effect for both defenses and offenses at this point, but keep your nerves ready because there is a lot left for this base to deal. 51% total destruction. Gigabomb is right in the cluster of that overgrowth spell, so if he can keep his troops away from that and let them deal with it at the very end, he'd be very happy.
That's why these players are pro players, though, Woody. He knew that he could time up the 25 seconds of that overgrowth, have it wear off just in time as all the troops are getting there, and now the town hall's down without any issue. I was worried. I thought everything would go through the town hall. He'd be scrambling, circling back, but now he's just working his way through the back end of this base. He doesn't have too many buildings left. The queen is working there. She has 3 queens on the board. Oh, but keep an eye on this merged multi-tower. Keep an eye on the merged multi-tower. It's nasty.
This is very close. This is very close, Bash.
Oh, he lost
Queen
the
goes
queen,
down.
though.
Lost the king. It's just the Grand Warden now to try to finish this off. We've got a few snot balls up on the top side as those boogers are doing their best against the ricochet cannon. There's a mortar that's going to go down. I'm seeing a lot of flying
wait, he's got
troops.
giant.
Can the giant power through?
Yeah, the giant
blocking
gets
for some
enraged.
archers.
He gets enraged when he gets to half health, as you see right there. He's taking a lot of damage. Go
15 seconds left.
Oh!
He pounced through the Tesla.
He's gonna get it. What a surprise!
Wizard Tower
triple!
fell. Oh my God! Loop has pulled off victory from the jaws just to stay behind on percentage. We're going to start off with a Royal Champion charge, sending in a dozen, or maybe just 11 invisibility spells to keep her safe as she gets the work done. Electro Boots, fantastic at chipping away at the last few hit points of defense, and Nacho's timing has been perfect so far. Can he keep her on a path of destruction through the core of this base? Maybe even take down the Town Hall.
Wow, I'm still in shock after that last attack. Nachoa looking really good here on his opener, though. Remember, Nachoa was the one miss in their previous war against Tribe Gaming, but it was a 93%, so it's not like it was a massive, big misstep. Wow. But he's going with the Dragons here. He did go with the Roots in that last war and try to pull these Ice Golems up to the top side and get rid of them. Ooh, look at that, picking off the Furnace right there. Look at the value. This base is gutted. He did invest the Queen and the Royal Champion here, but that is so much value to be had.
Yeah, that is a Royal Champion charge done right. Spent a lot on it, but with the Town Hall already down and so many crucial core defenses already eliminated, including those air sweepers, it's a lot easier for the Dragons to make their way in without much spell support if they've got those air sweepers finished off. Nice early timing as well on that Eternal Tome. Popped it early to help deal with the Monolith on the way in and to deal with an air defense, an Archer Queen, a scatter shot. This is fantastic positioning for Nachoa.
This is why you invest those heroes early. You get the setup for these Dragons, and they thin out a little bit, but they're so well protected. The Warden ability, the Minion Prince's ability, all being used perfectly here. Now he's just got to get through. Just keep an eye on that right side. That Minion Prince and that Merge Multi-Tower. Red Air Bomb farm is right there. Here comes a few of those rocket balloons to take out the air defense. Oh my goodness, look at that Merge Multi-Tower just eating those Dragons alive. Tornadoes off. The Warden's getting ready to go down. The Warden's barely hanging on here. Wow. This is going to be a close finish. Nachoa needs a 3-star in the worst way here.
I can't even see a single pixel of hit points remaining on that Minion Prince, and only 1 pixel on that Grand Warden. But if they're alive, they are dealing damage, and that is a 100% success for Nachoa. Vatic scores another trip. Very last attack. Let's see how Almualin does in his next round.
Almualin coming in with the Drags. It's really interesting because we just saw the Dragon 3-star, but we've seen Dragons be so hit or miss throughout this tournament today. He went with the Super Witches and time failed 99% in his last attack, switching up completely and going with the Dragons. But look at this. He's got a ton of invisibility, so he's going to go for one of those deep spirit charges here. Going to take out the Town Hall and then just keep pushing her in.
Fox. No, he's got a Phoenix on that Royal Champion.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. So that's going to allow him to just have her pop up and deal out a little bit more damage. So not technically a spirit charge, just more of an RC charge here, as she's going to push into the middle of this base, and then she'll just be able to pop back up for 8 more seconds after she gets taken out. Here come the Clan Castle troops, and here goes that Phoenix. Good shot there, Woody.
Charging back in and dealing whatever damage she can. The Electro Boots are going to get some nice value against the CTD troops popping out, and it looks like he's done quite a bit of damage onto the interior. I guess that was an artistic choice on his part to use that Phoenix instead of the Spirit Fox. On the right side, the Siege Barracks is going to get some good work done against those CC troops and won't be taking too much damage. He did find a little bit of an unfortunate Tesla farm out there that's going to start chipping away at the P.E.K.K.A.s out in front. But the main army is now moving in clever and confident along that top left side of this base, all supported by that Grand Warden. Might see a little bit more patience, though, on his Eternal Tome deploy. Nope, he's going to pop it right out of the gate. I think he saw a Black Bomb coming on in and expected that there might be more traps over there. I think he caught maybe a second Black Bomb, a third, and a fourth Black Bomb. That is some seriously good value for Dragons.
Yeah, that's some pretty damage-dealing bombs there. But also, he negated all the poison damage there, so the balloons stay up. Keeping balloons up in a Dragon attack is tough to do, but if you can, they can really deal some big impact here. Things are starting to fade here, Woody. He did have a really nice Warden ability. The Dragons are starting to fade out. He's got that air defense down there. Here comes an air bomb. All right, he's working here. The heroes have used all of their abilities. He's got the super minions out of the clan castle, but he really doesn't have too much left. This one is fading out, and this is looking like the defense that Vatic eSports needs. They can make the comeback with their next attack.
He just got gummed up on that enemy Barb King and was unable to take down that multi-inferno, taking lots of shots from the multi-archer tower and air defense all the way through. Even if he may have made it, you saw that air sweeper starting to push back.
But I do want to remind you, Woody, it goes stars and then percentage. So if they get a triple here, they'll be up on stars. So if they can hold Elektros, they could be good. I mean, there's a lot of war to be played here. There's only 3 attacks, but it's a lot of war to decide this one. And a lot of different things can happen here. Tryhard went with Roots last time, and he had a 3-star with them. Going in with the Roots with the Spirit Charge again here. And it's looking really, really nice. Should be able to set off that Poison Tower. If not, get the Poison Tower completely down with the Electro Boots passive damage there. Going in for the Expo. This Spirit Charge is looking really nice. I think he was maybe trying to invis that battle builder, but it doesn't matter. Getting the merged multi-tower out early is massive.
Recalls, but it looks like there's a downed Spirit Fox in there, so a bit unfortunate to have lost the pet already. Still, Tryhard got a lot of solid value on the top side of this base and has got a solid shot at making this turn into a triple after all. You can see the look of concentration on his face as every single deploy needs to be perfect from here on out to ensure that he gets the maximum value necessary to puncture this core, where still a terrifying monolith is standing ready to fire away at any heroes that get too close.
Long way to go, though. We just highlighted where that town hall is, and it's a long way away. However, he does have the overgrowth spell, so he'll be able to direct traffic and also negate some of the damage in the middle of the base. But man, you got to keep everything moving. I love the choice of the troop launcher here. I think that's a beautiful choice just to get a little bit of extra tanking, a little bit of extra support in the middle. Great warden ability to protect, and great poison there on the furnace to get that taken out as well. Everything's going, it seems to plan so far. Overgrowth on the far side of the base. He's got a path right in towards that monolith now.
He's just made a lot of decisions that are still causing his troops to take so much damage. Fire Spitter on the far side, Monolith still standing up and firing away. This is going to be really tricky to finish off for the 3-star, and man, I'm starting to worry if he's got enough oomph left in the tank. He is getting some top-off effect from the healers, and that's probably going to be his saving grace here, because all that damage is now being reversed and negated. Trying to make his way into that final compartment, but it looks like the Root Riders are not going to give much help. Instead, it's the Royal Champion going to get the first stabs off into the Town Hall to get the 2nd star secured with a little bit of support from those balloons, while Giants are blocking out in front to try to keep that Fire Spitter at bay. Forced to pop the Queen ability, and there's only 1 Super Barbarian left to deploy in this attack. 30 seconds remaining. He's got 10% off this base remaining. Bash, can he finish it off?
I think he's got a good chance at it. He's got the snakes here to protect the king. The king's gonna walk and take out those outside buildings. Queen's got access to everything here. It's gonna be a 3-star here for Vatic, and Tryhard gets his team back on the board and in the lead. Vatic eSports have come from behind, and they are now in the advantage. 11 stars to 10. Man, it all comes down to this. It's gonna be a nice Root Rider Spirit Charge attack. This has been the go-to. This has been the strategy. Let's see if El Tano can get the 3-star and put all the pressure over to Vatic eSports.
Ooh. Bit haphazard with the invisibility spell drops early on, trying to keep this Royal Champion on target, and that poor Spirit Fox took a beating early on, but still alive, and so the timing could still work out in his favor here. El Tano knows that this is a 3-star or nothing situation. He knows that percentage is not going to be a major game at play here, and so he really does have to put everything on the line to try to get that triple. Basically a 1-star or a 3-star. He's willing to take that risk.
He almost got that Royal Champion down. That would have been a nice little strike right there. I'm gonna go ahead and send the Roots in. She should go down pretty early here from the Valkyries. El Tano is gonna sideswipe right on through this Town Hall. Does have the overgrowth. This approach has worked on these style bases before. We've seen it time and time again. We'll have to keep an eye on the trapping. We'll have to keep an eye on how everything pads on this one, as it's all or nothing for Team Elektros on this final attack of the war.
Elektros' final attack is moving into the core of the basin with a poison spell now dropped to try to take down that enemy furnace and finish off what remains of the rest of the CC troops. He's gonna pop that Eternal Tome, keep his troops as safe as he can, even as they are frozen by that enemy ice golem. They are moving ever so slowly into the core of the space, trying to take down the Town Hall. Overgrowth is dropped now to shut off that Fire Spitter and keep those troops moving southwards as El Tano is powering through with everything he's got. Cool as a cucumber and listening through on comms just to make sure that there's any little advantage he can garner. He will take it. Enemy Archer Queen coming into range and starts popping off against the Root Riders. They are still looking very healthy, Bash, and we need some return fire lickety split. Popping in on that left side compartment. El Tano is moving in for victory, but can he secure all 3?
healers are protecting everything through here. But that Fire Spitter is doing so much work. He's still got the King and the Queen ability. He needs a 3-star in the worst way. He does have the Snake Bracelet popping off those snakes for the King. The King's getting some healing, allowing more snakes to spawn. He needs those Yetis to take some damage, so the Yeti Mites would pop over and take that Fire Spitter down. It's got about a third health remaining. Queen pops her ability. There goes the Giant Giant. The Yetis finally get through the wall. They're going to go ahead and they're going to take the Fire Spitter down. It's looking really good. El Tano looking to get the job done for Team Elektros. They are still alive in this one.
Still ready to pop that Barb King ability and finish off this base without much more resistance. El Tano is powering through with the last bit of force that he's got to try to knock apart this Ricochet cannon.
Woody, settle down. This might not get there. 10 seconds.
He's not.
10 seconds. Settle down. He doesn't have it. The Queen's down. We spoke too soon. The Queen went down. We spoke too soon, Woody. We jinxed it. It looks so good, but that merged multi-tower, the multi-target Inferno, the Tornado Trap on the back end of the perfect combination, the perfect storm. Imran's going to be our final attacker to come in here using the Root Riders. Had a 3-star in the last war with them, and this is all going to be just a victory lap here as a 2-star will get it the victory, and he's setting up to go right through this town hall, so there should be no issues with this one.
Any 2-star will secure victory for Vatic eSports thanks to the many superb triples that they've scored already. But let's see if our MVP from this lineup can seal the deal with the kiss of death. A triple from him would be exactly what Vatic would be looking for. He gives a little thumbs up to the camera, says he was very happy with how that early deploy went.
Vatic eSports feeling really good about what they're doing, obviously. Oh my goodness, he said, be the vision, I got this, I am the vision. He's going right through the town hall, which will secure the 2-star pretty much instantly. Shortly after the troops get through there, he'll have the Warden ability to protect, and the 50% will come right after there. Double thumbs up yet again, and Vatic eSports have made the comeback in this war. Kingsmen have that rare, awful miss on his fireball. But it doesn't matter. His team's got his back here.
We've got 6 thumbs from Imran, and the meta is being reestablished. The 8 thumbs! He did it! The Madman went for 8 thumbs, and after 2 stars have been claimed, Vatic are now moving on in the upper bracket, Bash.
That's right. They are going to go to our grand finals tomorrow. Imran has done it. Oh, baby, Vatic eSports look like the juggernaut in our first monthly qualifier, looking to get that. Another double thumbs up. Oh, man, it doesn't need a triple. It's just got to be a 2-star. But Woody, this performance from this Vatic squad, they have convincingly looked like the best team here so far today.
Giving us the dirty dozen, 12 thumbs up. Imran, your MVP from the first round has delivered the killing blow against Team Elektros, scoring the 13 they needed to emerge victorious and finding for sure that their next foe will be Dizzy tomorrow.
Wait a second, was Imran aura farming us to get MVP again? No shot, right?
Oh, no. Aura farming.
He was aura farming us to get MVP. If he gets MVP, it's because of the 12 thumbs up. GG's to both of these squads. Team Elektros should be very, very proud of their performance here. They held in there with Vatic eSports, but Vatic eSports just too much to come from behind victory.
Vatic eSports, which came in a little bit behind on percentage, but nonetheless pulled off the triples in the mid-war to cement their victory.
They had to win on stars because the 76% opener from Kingsman was a...
That might be a really one-sided match, but we were fooled already today by going too much based on the numbers, and that backfired quite a bit in predictions. So I'm just super excited for tomorrow for the matches. That's it, Bash.
Yeah, but remember, tomorrow we're starting in the lower bracket. We're actually going to go through and we're going to eliminate 3 teams right away. We're going to play those 2 lower bracket matches, and then we're going to